There's been a alarming trend that I see within MGTOW presenters such as Sexy MGTOW, which is that there are quite a few continuing misconceptions in my understanding. For example, in Sexy MGTOW's running theme, there's the concept that somehow MGTOW men are going to change women through our collective protest. And this couldn't be further from any kind of actual truth. Women aren't going to change because a bunch of men who aren't attractive to women are demanding women to change. I mean, come on, think about it. Look at Japan, for example. Something like 80% of men under the age of 30 are essentially men going their own way, or herbivores or grass eaters. And the women aren't looking inwards and going, well, why are the men not doing what we want them to do? Why aren't men trying to be attractive to us? No, they just scorn those men. They don't like them. They mock them all the more. That's where the terminology herbivore or grass eater came from. They're not interested in negotiation. They're not even interested in self-reflection. They're only interested in the alpha males that they can attract and keep. And they certainly don't comprehend how few alpha males there are available for them. And as the number of alpha males and beta males dwindles, they don't care. They just keep looking at the alpha males. I'm currently doing some heavy research into ancient Sparta, because I was going to, and I am going to, create a new series looking into old societies and having a look at them from a red pill perspective. The alarming thing I see when looking at ancient Sparta is everything that is happening now happened in ancient Sparta. The only difference was that ancient Sparta was more brutal with culling off the beta males. And the reason why their society went the way it did was for the glorification of alpha males, which is exactly what we're getting now. The only decent men are alpha males. I mean, what was it? Burn the Ender just recently poured out a video, the hamster and the wheel video, with a link to a article about my home country, Australia, saying that there was something like 1.2 million women who were suffering a man drought, and there was something only about 63,000 men eligible. And I mean, to fit the requirement of eligible, you had to have at least $60,000. Now that number's just going to increase as the years go by, and women are not going to reflect upon themselves. They're not going to go, hang on a second, it's not fair that I have such high expectations. They're not even going to think that, hang on a second, if I really want to get these alpha males, I need to improve upon myself. No, they're not. Just look at Japan. There's far more men not dating women, and women haven't caught on. Hell, the entire society hasn't caught on. It hasn't even contemplated that, hang on a second, men just might have their own wants and needs. They just simply don't care. MGTOW is the first time men have had the opportunity to self-identify external from what women want of us, external from what society wants from us, just what we want for ourselves. Why the fuck are you wasting it having this fantasy that somehow our little protest is going to change women's minds? It's not. The only thing that's going to change women's minds is a huge cultural change or an entire collapse and a rebuild. Because that's exactly what happened to Sparta. It slowly fizzled out and a stronger culture came in and conquered it. I, for one, am not on a marriage strike, because that implies that when my demands get met, I will go back to that job. I refuse to go back to that work, ever. I will not go to that work. I've never been married. I'm only 25, but I'm not going back to that. I don't care if you reverse all the laws. I don't care if you end divorce and end alimony and child support even. I don't care. Women aren't worthy of me. I have the first time in my life to finally achieve some really interesting things to myself, because I've shed myself of the desire to try and find a woman, I've shed myself of the belief that I'll find a woman who would help me achieve those dreams. Because these dreams aren't going to somehow equate to great wealth. They're not going to equate to a career. They're just things that I really want to strive for in my life. I'm only going to live once. Why the fuck should I waste it trying to convince women to become something I would really like them to be? Yeah, sure, I'd like them to be that. But I have far more important things and far more beneficial and far more rewarding things I can do with my life.